Hello, welcome to our channel. So today we have a story that revolves around a village that has a very strong tradition that has been passed down from generations to generations. And this tradition is an age-long tradition. And the people were so comfortable with it. They were so happy. They endured the situations. And nobody was complaining. So life was smooth, life was sweet. But it get to a point where things turn around. Please sit down, relax, and enjoy this story. So once upon a time, there was a village called Ugala. And Ugala is a village that has a long aged tradition that only women exist in that community. There was a total absence of men in the community. So the women basically does everything themselves, regardless whether it is meant for a man to do or not. So they took those responsibilities upon themselves and they were very happy. Life was smooth. You know, things were moving well. So they have a queen called Eloho. Eloho was a very beautiful queen. She oversees the affairs of the community. And they were so happy with her. She was friendly, she was rich. They have this beautiful palace that when you see it, you fall in love to go in. And the villagers adore their king, their queen, to say. They were so happy the way they live. They basically does everything that concerns men. They took it upon themselves. So they are literally strong, very strong. The women were very strong. They became warriors on their own. They fight their battles themselves. They does everything, to keep them alive. So it continued like that. And when they decide to have children with the lady that came up, they have gotten up to a reasonable age to have their children. What they do is they move out from the community to other community and have their affairs there. And when they got pregnant, they come back to the community and give birth. So when they give birth and it happens that the child is a male child, they return the child to the father. And if it's a girl child, they celebrate. They will be happy. They do big celebrations to welcome a new member to the community. And things continue like this. The king and the queen was so pleased. They were all happy, because it's a tradition that will be passed down to them. And there was nobody complaining about it. So after some years, the queen, gave birth to a child, which was called Oke. Oke became the princess of Ugala. She grew up very strong, very industrious, because there was no father to take care of her needs. So all the needs were shouldered on the queen, which was the mother. So she took it upon herself to be very strong. She built herself. She created her wealth. She became influential. So people loved her too because she was generous, she was lovable, and the culture continued to grow like that. So it got to a point where the princess, which is okay, began to ask questions. What actually happened? How did it happen? Why do we have this tradition? Because she has gone to other villages and saw where a man and a woman live together. And this is something she admired. So she came back to ask these questions. And they told how it started and how the tradition has been passed down from that generation to this generation. So she was curious. she decided to ask what could be done to abolish or to undo the tradition. They told her it is a difficult task. People have tried, they failed. But she knew something, that if the minds are willing, there, there is going to be a change. So she asked the community, but are there people who are willing to accept the culture of the other communities? And they said, yes, if it is possible. So she kept this to herself. So she was there in the community. After some years, the mother passed. She was ordained the queen of the community. So she was very happy that now she can actually, change the narratives. So she went to the neighboring village, and people were, men were happy to see her. You know, they were even coming to woo her. But she saw one man, very handsome man, and her heart beat for him. So, but she kept that to herself. She came back to her community. She was always thinking about this man. So, knowing that, yeah, she has known what happened that caused the tradition or made the tradition to be in this form. She decided to embark on the journey to undo the tradition. It was a difficult task. She had to do some rituals and all that in order for her to undo the tradition. But she was willing, she was resilient, she was courageous, and she embarked on the journey. So she came back successful, and the whole village, the villagers were happy, they were excited that, oh, a new turn is going to happen in their community. So they were all very excited. So, but they were still afraid who to bear the cat, who will be the first person to, bring a man to the community because he knows the consequences. But the queen was brave enough. She said she's going to bear the cat. So she went back to the neighboring community where she saw a man that her heart beat for. She went back there. The man also liked her, and before you knew it, they became friends. From friendship, they were talking. From then, uh, she invited the man over to her village. So the man, being that he has found a wife, he was so excited. So he came. He came down with the queen to the village. So when they got to the village, people were hiding, looking from a distance. Though they were excited, but they want to know what will happen when a man comes into the community. They want to know. So they were eager to see what will actually, happen to the man or the queen. But the day passed, nothing happened. So the villagers were excited. On the other hand, they felt maybe in the next 2 or 3 days something might happen. But 2, 3 days passed, nothing happened. So the queen decided to arrange for their traditional wedding. And they did their wedding, nothing happened. And this changed the narratives. The ancient tradition now overturned. All the women were excited, they began to jubilate. So they decided to go out from their villages to see if men could actually see them and like them so that they can bring them home. And this became a norm. Men began to come into the community to look for beautiful women since the barrier has been broken. And this became a new way of life in the community. Men were born into the community, men came into the community, and the system was changed. So the moral lesson is this: there is no static thing in life. There's nothing that is permanent. Everything is prone to change. If you have the mind to change it, it can be changed. So whatever thing you think is a tradition, it can also be changed. Whatever characters, it can also be changed. Whatever uh, things you've learned, you can learn them. That is the way it is. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this channel and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.